Hey,
Heyo.
hey, hey,
What up?
hey, hey, hey. Oh, I'll just vibe into the beat.
Just a little something spooky to get
Just a
us
little
started.
something.
What's up, everybody? We took a little break.
We got the
We're back.
the little Jonely Bonelys popping up in the background.
Oh yeah. All the
Oh.
little Jimmy Boneley say, yeah.
Yeah, we did. We took a little break. Holidays, move-ins.
Mhm.
This whole past weekend, I had COVID, so I was feeling like shit. So that was dope.
Yeah.
And today's the first day that I've not taken any medicine and just been good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I feel you. Yeah. I believe we went to the Wu-Tang Clan concert
we did.
since we've been gone. It was a great time. Yeah.
COVID
Tyler,
brothers
the man
just
himself,
Yes.
and old Philly. And Busta Rhymes decided to grace us with his presence. He showed up. It was
Busta
a
Rhymes was there.
delightful surprise.
That was pretty sick. You told us late. You told me later, at least, that he was announced, but none of us knew
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So it was a very pleasant surprise.
It was very nice, and I don't believe the COVID was related to there because you didn't get it, and Philly was fine.
Yeah.
So unless COVID's got some magic here,
Must be that wrestling.
must have been the wrestling shit.
Gotta be.
It's all good. It was very lit. Wrestling this past week was a very, very, very lit world. So not for good reasons though, I guess. One of the guy that won their championship after the pay-per-view was done decided to basically say fuck everybody that he could while he was up there, like fuck you, and fuck you. And then there was like some sort of fight afterwards with a couple of the guys because he told people like, "Hey, if you got a problem, tell me to my fucking face." And a couple of the guys decided, let's go tell him to his face, and didn't go so well. So yeah, it's been wild. A lot of suspensions went down. They had one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year, and then their next show they open it up saying, "Okay, well, our world champion and our trios champions, we just crowned they're vacant now."
Very
So,
nice.
It was interesting. We had the a lot of people have been waiting for. We had the NFL season kicked off this past weekend. So that was fun. Yesterday was a fun football filled day. Go Bears! Bears pulled out a dub. That's why we got Club Dub rolling in here today. Because the Bears squeaked one out yesterday, man. Proud of the boys. And I think my fantasy team squeaked one out as well. So go one for the we were dead last year, but I believe last year I won the first week and then straight lost from there out. So
hopefully that's not the case again this year.
I hope not. But off to a good start, man.
Yeah. I mean, I really, other than the Wu-Tang concert, haven't had too much going on other than just getting antsy for October this year. Yeah. I just, I'm ready for it. So ready that I just dove in head first to the scary movies. I was like, fuck it, we'll do 31 in September as well. I don't give a fuck. I was ready to go. And so I've just been watching scary movies the past few days to get me in the mood. The weather's been nice and
today the weather's been very fall. That's why I was like, it's a perfect day to do this stream.
The door open right now all day with just the nice cool air coming in. Took today to watch Night of the Living Dead, one of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah.
Rewatch that one again. I gotta say, this time around, I don't know what it was about this specific viewing of it. Maybe it was the chilly air. I don't know, but like I genuinely could see where if I saw this movie in 1968, how fucking terrifying that this movie would have been. Truly, I was like, what? This is pretty intense. Maybe it was I had the sound bar up a little louder than usual. I don't know, but I just really got into it this time around, and I was like, damn, this movie's intense.
That's
But
what's up, man. That's pretty cool. I really wanted to the past couple of days. I know we were talking about it the other day. Watch some spooky shit, but I don't know if I've
ever
watched
did.
so many different things that I don't really know if I ever got into watching anything actually spooky. Because like even um, I watched Role Models today. And I
Very
was
nice.
going to find something spooky to watch, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw Role Models and I was like, I haven't seen that in a while. I was like, let's watch this. And so, yeah, no, I didn't watch something, but I have a list. I have a list I had started
Of movies you have watched,
of
or
movies I have watched this season so far.
I know for me so far, I've been trying to refrain from watching like favorites. I almost pulled the trigger on Halloween today. I'm like, it feels a little early, but I might. I don't know.
Oh
Still,
yeah.
still might be in the cards.
And I've even I wrote down a couple notes beside them too.
Oh,
I've watched The Blair Witch 2, and I put surprisingly not as bad as I remembered it being. Because
you just convinced me to watch Blair Witch 2 because I just watched the Blair Witch Project yesterday.
well, I think at the time it was like one of those that was like the first one was found footage and then the next one wasn't. So you were really confused. Like, well, what the fuck is this? Like,
Right,
what are they trying to be? They trying to make this like a legit movie now, So like knowing now, going back, I think watching it, I think it was better. I think it was good. I watched the Blair Witch too. Pretty decent. That's what I wrote. Pretty decent. Not as bad. Again, not as bad as I.
that I have to agree. I was watching it and I was like, this is not what I remembered it being. Like, this is so much better than I remembered it being.
Well, I do
Because
remember it scaring the shit out of me. Don't get me wrong. When I was, because I had to have been a kid going to see that in theaters, and I do remember specifically because it was like me and my sister and my mom and my aunt, and I remember, there's this road outside of my town. They call it Snake Road. It's like very tree, very windy and
yeah,
stuff. And I remember my mother stopping out there, and them all being like, "All right, Aaron, we're going out into the woods and this and that." And I was like, oh fuck no, because that movie, at the end of that, I'm like, I ain't gonna try to get in the house and somebody tackle me.
right.
But yeah, it definitely, especially if you want. I don't know if you've watched. I don't think I've written this one down, but I did watch this one. I watched actually like the 2016 Blair Witch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen it.
Um, and that one, I was like, oh cool, that's a pretty cool way to do those.
Continue. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was
yeah.
pretty cool. It's like
That one was pretty freaky from
Blair
what I
Witch,
remember.
a little bit more higher rated than we all gave it back in the day.
Mhm.
But I watched. I still know what you did last summer, and I wrote down that it's still just as bad as I remembered it
I
being.
still have no desire to watch any more of those movies. Like, that first one was bad enough for me that I'm like, I don't want to watch any more of these.
Oh, it gets worse, man. Like
It's
that's what.
funny that like something like that, like I will watch I Know What You Did Last Summer and be like, I'm not watching any more of this trash. But I watched the first Puppet Master the other day. I'm like, this is garbage. I'm gonna watch all of them. Like
Yeah,
that's something where it's like that
some
could be
horror
hit or
movies
miss.
that you know what I mean. They're good. And then I watched Hell House Incorporated.
That one
Um,
keeps popping up on
I
everything.
put not bad, but totally predictable. Totally predictable.
Totally predict.
Um, yeah, because I think that's like found footage of people starting a haunted house or some shit like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can guess the end if you've watched any sort of horror movie. You'll be like, oh,
Ever.
I can see where this is going. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been dabbling into. I've watched a hell of a lot more than that. I know I've watched Trick
Yeah.
or Treat already. Uh,
I still think we need to go see Trick or Treat when it hits theaters here in a few weeks.
yeah,
To
yeah.
kick off October, just because it didn't get a proper theatrical release when it came out. So, I mean, it would be rad to see that one. I bet the theater is going to be packed for that too,
I'd be down.
especially with
It's a good
its
movie.
fan base these days. A lot
Yeah.
bigger than it was when it came out. But I keep gravitating towards. I've noticed it like with each passing October the past few years that I just get more and more and more into watching like the older shit.
Hmm?
like just everything from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like I just really dive into it. Um, it just like I don't know, like I'll watch like the more intense stuff or the more modern stuff, and I'll enjoy it. Like I'm looking forward to going to see Barbarian like probably tomorrow or something. But uh watched a lot of firsts over the past like week. Like modern, I watched The Black Phone. Did not care for it, like I
Right.
thought I would. Um, Skeleton downright scared me. Yeah, they'll do that.
They popped it out.
They'll do
Woo!
that.
We're raising the dead in
Got to
the
stay on your
chats
toes.
tonight.
Yeah, The Black Phone. It was all right. I don't know if you got the chance to see it, but
Mm-mm.
it was just okay. I just feel like it was one of those that was really hyped by a lot of people, and then I watched it. I was like, it's fine.
I've heard good things about it, but no, I haven't got around to it. I guess I just had plenty of opportunity to get around to it, and I
Yeah,
didn't. I think
that's
the
no
only
rush. No rush.
I think the only I did watch a scary movie, and I think it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Okay.
Very solid to me.
I've watched of the ones that I'd never seen before. Checked out a couple Wes Craven movies that I'd never seen before. I watched his very first one yesterday, The Last House on the Left, like the OG Last House on the
Right.
Left.
Yeah.
I gotta say this about this movie. I saw the remake like when it came out and shit, and like obviously it's super intense. And so I was expecting that with this. Obviously, the rape scene in the original movie is nowhere near as graphic as the remake was. Um, but what I couldn't get past was like, what the fuck was Wes Craven doing with this like B plot with the cops? Because every time it like cuts to these police officers, it's like a totally different movie. It's like a buddy cop comedy going on over here, where you got these two dumbass cops, like which like you see that in horror movies all the time, like the two ditzy cops or whatever, bumbling idiots trying to solve the case and everything, which like that works in a lot of movies. But Last House on the Left is so like intense and like brutal, and like the subject matter is like some dark stuff, some heavy stuff, and then it keeps cutting back and forth, and like the musical selection was just weird, and I'm like, it was the guy's first movie, fuck it, we'll give him that. 1978 is a different time, but
He was trying some new shit, probably.
the other one I watched that I liked a lot more was The People Under the Stairs. I'd never seen that before. I really dug that one. I thought that one was pretty dope. I'm looking forward to the remake of that.
Yeah, no, that was one that always scared the shit out of me as a child. So yeah, I watched it growing up, and yeah. Anytime like, and I don't really think I don't know in that movie actually. I watched it probably like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. But I don't even know if the people are actually under stairs, but I always got creeped out when I was going downstairs because I was always like, there's people under these stairs and they're going to grab me.
Right. I feel like the people were downstairs, but that didn't sound as good. Like the people that are downstairs, that doesn't sound as good. I can't find the Black Phone before I ever watch it because I swore I watched a UK short movie that was exactly it. I don't know. The Black Phone was based on a short story by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. I do know that. So maybe
Start there.
something with that. Yeah, start there on your
start
investigation.
start there and dig deeper, I guess. I don't know. I've not
Um,
I heard that.
I think the only other one, Puppet Master, I watched for the first time, and it wasn't what I expected it to be. Like the puppets were very scarce, and like by the end of it, I'm like, the puppets aren't even necessarily the bad guys. Like it is the Puppet Master dude himself, like who's the bad guy, because like all the puppets like turn on dude at the end because they're like, yo, that shit ain't right, because he starts smacking some chick around and then like talking shit at somebody else, and the puppets are like, whoa, and then he
Whoa.
smacks around a puppet, and that's all bets are off.
Um it's like he's describing the movie. Yeah, that's
Go ahead,
wild.
ask me if I seen it. Huh.
Don't read.
I
I don't
haven't
have a
read it.
brain.
Well,
Well,
you'll be
I
safe
mean,
from the
that's what I
zombies.
say. Maybe somebody made a short over in
Yeah,
the UK or something based off the story before they made a theatrical film. You never know. It happens. You know
It
what I mean?
does.
It does. It happens. It could be a thing. I don't know.
Or you just saw the trailer and are like, this is what it is.
I
You
know
predicted
exactly
it
what
down
this
to a
movie
T.
is. There's some
Yeah.
movies you can definitely
Some
do that
movies are
to.
definitely like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think the
Batman
other
vs
ones aren't
Superman was
necessarily
like that.
like um horror movies per se. I mean, one of them is. I saw Jaws in the IMAX uh, with Belle and her dad, and Belle had never seen Jaws before,
Yeah.
and her review of it was bizarre. I'd never heard a review of Jaws quite like this because the movie ended, and she goes, "That was weird." I was like, "I've never heard Jaws be called weird before," but
Yeah.
she's like, "That was weird." She's like, "Is that what horror?" She's like, "Everybody just died. Like, is that what horror movies are?" I'm like, "That is what horror movies are. That's exactly what they are."
That
Most
is
people get
exactly what
lined
it
up
is.
for the slaughter.
Yeah, I
Ever seen an
almost.
old movie called Extra?
I have not.
I also have not.
I almost watched Psycho Gorman again today.
I thought about that myself. I did watch Psycho the other day.
Psycho.
The OG
Beep, beep,
Psycho.
beep, beep. That was a good one. I remember the remake.
God, I watched so many more than I
I believe
realized. Yeah.
with Vince Vaughn was in the remake.
Yeah, I never did see that one.
Weird. I remember he tweedles the biscuits behind the watching the girl in the shower. So I thought it was weird. I remember being a
Yeah.
kid. There's a lot of
I
movies
mean,
I feel
Norman
like.
Bates is pretty weird. He's a pretty
Yeah,
weird
but
dude.
that was one of those that's like where they make it a sequel, where they make it a reboot. You didn't really know. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? It was
Mhm.
like it was weird. I feel like there was a couple movies that were like that. That was like Red Dragon was always one of those. Like, is this is sequel to Silence of the Lambs? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but it doesn't really.
Or is it a prequel to Silence of the
I
Lambs? I
don't
don't really
know.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
Yeah. I thought about rewatching Silence of the Lambs. I rewatched Psycho. It'd been a long time. I hadn't seen that since high school. And then the other one I watched for the first time was When a Stranger Calls. And the first 20 minutes of that movie were great. And I read somewhere that the guy made this movie based off of a 20-minute short film that he made called The Sitter, which is basically the first 20 minutes of this movie. And that's what it should have stayed. It should have just stayed a short film that was 20 minutes long, because everything after that was just
Shit.
filler. I feel like it was just a bunch of
Shite.
filler. And then it gets to the end and it's like, okay, like, all right, whatever. Just don't care. Horror movies, man. It's just such a mixed bag.
Some of them get that. Yeah, no, I know. I watched Rubber recently. Remember, I know we talked about.
Mhm.
I think we were talking about that. That's one that I had watched. I've watched a lot because I sporadically will be like, "Fuck it," and throw some on. Like I said, I was really digging into some today. Um,
That's right.
the season that matters, it. It's celebrated all year around here.
That's
Um,
right.
that is one thing. Side note that
It's
I
true. I've
always
I've I've seen Chef's Place. It really is. It's
well, and that's what
year round.
that's one thing I've been laughing at recently is a lot of people, not to hate, but a lot of people being like, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna put on some spooky songs and put my Halloween decorations up," and I'm
Mhm.
just sitting over here like I can't relate to that because
All
mine
year,
just
baby.
yeah. If I took mine down in November, it'd be bare. It'd just be the
Yeah.
bears hanging up really like back there.
I literally came home from your house a few weeks ago and like told Belle, I was like, you got to see this place. Like, I was like, I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's so consistent. It's charming. Like, it's like, this motherfucker's got the Halloween shit going year round, but it works. Like, it just works. Like, it doesn't
It
feel like
does.
too much. It just feels right.
Yeah, it's you got to create your environment you want to live in, folks,
Right.
and then you'll always
But
be happy.
you're
But
you're really on your Adams Family shit over there. Like,
it is. But then it backfires like a motherfucker when it comes to like you never want to fucking go anywhere or do anything. You're like,
right.
I'll just
He's a
kick it
charming guy
here.
for sure. He is.
I try. I try.
Charm my pants off.
um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I forget where we were in the movies, but I
Yeah, you
deviated
said
off.
Rubber. You had
I
watched
remember
Rubber.
Rubber. There's a few. I'm more excited. Like you were talking, the ones coming out. We got Halloween Kills coming out.
Hmm.
Uh, Marvel has their little Werewolf by
Werewolf by
Midnight
Night,
thing,
yeah,
or Werewolf by Night.
yeah. I was curious because we've been hearing about that one for a while, and then they finally dropped that trailer the other day, and I was like, I wasn't just relieved, I was surprised. I was like, this is not what I expected this to be, but I am 100% here for it.
I got big Easter Sunday vibes when I watched the trailer for
It
it.
was the new age Elvira.
I'll take it. I will be the new Elvira.
Hell yeah.
I used to stay up and watch Elvira sometimes at night. She was on the television, I believe,
Yeah, I don't know what it is about like
on
those
USA.
old school horror movies, like 60s, 70s, 80s horror movies. Like it just does something different for me. Like it's not that it's necessarily scary per se, but like I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm just like I fuck with this.
It's old now too, because
Hmm. Have we seen
um,
Slacks?
Slacks. I have not seen
Nope.
Slacks, but if it's wilder
I've
than
never
other,
heard Rubber called overrated
no,
before.
it's
I
Slacks. Slacks is about killer pants, I assume. Um, but
hope.
I would really hope. I would really hope it was about some pants that chomp people up when they put them on. What a way to go! All that's left would be your little feet and your.
One leg at a time. Personally,
Um,
I think the Halloween movies are getting a little redundant. The movies from the 70s to 90s was a prime scary movie era. For sure.
it
Yeah.
was. It was
I can
most
agree with
definitely.
that. I've said it very recently that like the franchise thing is getting old and that certain movies need to know when to stop making movies. Um, and now it's getting to a point where obviously as a horror fan, whenever they're like, oh, this is the final chapter, we're like, yeah, sure. But now I feel that way with like all movies, just about like, Jurassic World Dominion just came out and like it was fine. I enjoyed it. I was like, end it. It's like you're saying this is the final chapter, end it. But like they're already talking about making more Jurassic Park movies. It's like, of course they fucking are.
They want
Like
that
it's
money.
they want that money, dude. Like they just want that money.
Capitalism is going to capitalize.
It happens. Like Halloween, like is a perfect example. Halloween 2018 came out. I was like, perfect. That's a perfect little 1-2, like for the original in 2018. Great little 2-part story. And they're like, oh, but it's the start of a trilogy. Okay, but why? Fuck
do
it.
we?
Here's my
Do
money.
we?
We'll watch the next one. It was all right. The next one's coming out. Okay. Oh, we're ending the trilogy, but guess what? We're gonna make more Halloween movies. Why the fuck? It's getting hard. It's getting hard to fucking support my boy Michael. Um,
Yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully they say this one will end it. Hopefully it does. Hopefully
I
it
already heard him
does.
talking about new ones,
They
like The Exorcist. They're making The Exorcist into a trilogy. Like like they're remaking The Exorcist as a trilogy. Like why? Like why? It just doesn't make sense to me, man.
The Exorcist is definitely one that they could just make as a movie. Um,
You better not be fucking with me. Is this a real movie? Because I will absolutely watch this.
Slacks. I'm gonna have to find it. Say no more. With that
Say no more.
description, the description of child labor's soul gets put into some jeans, and hell yeah, they start murdering. That's all I needed.
Child laborers. Oh, it's like new too. When a possessed pair of jeans begins to kill the staff of a trendy clothing store, it is up to Libby, an idealistic young sales clerk, to stop its bloody rampage. I'm excited about this. Like it actually has really decent reviews too, which is like not what I expected.
Cool. Slacks it is.
Slacks it is.
It's
Super
beautiful.
recommendation. It's a beautiful movie. Hell yeah.
Well, we'll let you guys know.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Like I'm gonna star that comment.
I need a spooky movie about Killer Linen in my life. I think we all do, honestly.
That's it.
I feel like
That's our claim to fame. We'll do one about like a killer beanie.
yeah, right. Ah, yeah.
Ah! I fuck
But
with
yeah,
it.
like I don't know, there's something about just that like that corniness, that campiness that like really enhances the experience for me with like a lot of older movies.
Yeah.
Like I just really dig that era of horror. And honestly, for me, like a lot of stuff in the '60s, I find like genuinely pretty fucking scary. Like Rosemary's Baby's like intense as hell. Like I think that's a great example of a movie that's held up. I think The Shining, I mean that was what, the 80s, like still terrifying to this day.
Yeah, Shining is still a very good one.
They keep remaking stuff that was a hit in the era I mentioned before, because honestly the 90s was the last era of pop culture. The internet kind of ruined a lot of stuff in that department. It's like there's no original ideas now. That's
Yeah,
true. Like, that
until
gets brought up a lot
Killer Linens come into
until
the.
Slacks comes out. Fuck.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Is like a lot of people say that, you hear that brought up all the time about like there's no original ideas anymore. But it's like we as the audience like vote for these things, and we vote for the remakes and sequels like with our money. Like that's what we watch all the time. But like for every remake, sequel, superhero movie, whatever, like there's so many movies out there that are original ideas that fly under the radar that people just don't get to see. Which like I feel like that's what's cool about streaming, is like now people do have the chance to like see these movies, because especially with horror, man, you can get yourself into some off the wall shit. Like Rubber at the time, when I first heard about Rubber, okay, so you're telling me it's a movie about a killer tire who kills people with telepathy. I'm in. Absolutely. Like you're telling me that there are killer genes out and about like fucking Jimmy Neutron, like yo, I'm here for it. Like I want to see that.
Well, in Treevenge, where the Christmas trees
Revenge.
come back
Yeah.
to life and smush people, there are some gems out there. You just gotta
Mhm.
really look for them. Yeah, I was looking at some wild ones today because I got some Amazon channel
Mhm.
that's got some just crap. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So there are original ideas out there. They will confuse the shit out of you if you go to
Santa
watch them though.
Jaws. Santa Jaws was one we took a gamble on and we loved
There
it.
was one today that was called like Ghost Squad. It was from like China or Japan or
Hmm.
some shit like that, and it was just like I still don't know what like the guy was whispering the whole time. He'd be like, "Ghost
Yeah.
Squad kill, Ghost Squad, Ghost Squad kill," and it's like like it was very very weird.
Yeah.
But people were probably hyped when it dropped. They was
Some
probably like, "Oh
yo,
shit."
I'm like here for the weird, like it's just especially in a horror movie, because I feel like you can just do whatever, like that's why the horror comedy like is so appealing. I feel like that's why we do so much of it, because it's like we can do whatever we want. Like it's just a realm of endless make believe. Like it could be as weird and as fucked up as you want it to be.
Well, there's one I almost watched today that was in that genre that was called Bad Milo. I never
Yes.
I had never
Have you
heard
never
of
seen?
this.
You've never?
No.
It's
No, but it
exactly
looked
what it promises it is.
yeah, I was looking at the trailer and it's like the guy, he's like goes to the
Got a
doctor. I
demon up
don't
his ass.
I don't know what this is, and it's like he keeps like shitting a demon out, yeah, that kills people that he gets pissed off at. And he's like, you got to be friends with him.
It,
It
it
looked
was
like
an amusing movie from what I
it,
remember.
it looked like it'd be a wild ride.
Yeah, I've been doing it all. I've been listening to an indie Halloween playlist on Spotify past few days. You know, Gela and I, our two-person book club, she's been turning me on to some fantastic um, horror comics.
I vibe with that.
My only problem with Rubber is with how much you need to suspend your disbelief. I've just found with each viewing Rubber, it goes from refreshing to just utter nonsense. But it was refreshing to me because it's utter nonsense, and it tells you right out the gate. Like that dude's whole speech at the beginning of the movie about the element of no reason, and
Right.
this movie is an homage to the no reason and all that. Like it sets you up from the get go of any time a question pops into your brain as to what in the fuck is going on in this movie, look no farther than the opening scene. No reason.
No
It's
reason.
happening for no reason. It is literally a movie built upon nonsense and doing things for no fucking reason at all. And it works for whatever reason it works. For me, anyways. It might not work for everybody. It is not a movie for everybody, for sure.
I loved it. I loved it. I love it every time I watched it.
But no, she, like I obviously with comics, it's mostly Marvel stuff for me. But she's been giving me a bunch of the horror comics that have just been like totally changing the game for me as far as like what comics can be, and everything. And it's just
Mhm.
like some super dope imagery and super dope storylines. I can't wait for our next swap to see
So they pretty
what
much
she's got
got
for me.
everything out there in every form of media. I feel like these
Mhm.
days you really can find anything. Besides, we've brought up the fact of not finding too much in the horror anime realm, like animation realm.
Right,
You have to look towards anime to find most of that stuff at the
right.
moment.
Anime or stop motion, which I know we got Wendell and Wild coming up, which I'm very excited about. Love Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, and
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm
that looked
definitely
really
hyped.
cool.
Looks like a good one. I love stop motion animation.
Now I'm pretty hype about that. The Del Toro one that's coming on.
hmm
The what's
The
the
cabinet
cavern?
cabinet of curiosities.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one looks dope. It's got a lot of pretty dope directors that I'm like excited to see what they do.
Me too. Me too, man. That's what I'm
I,
saying. There's
I,
just
I know another show that's coming out that looks pretty dope is Wednesday. I'm
yeah.
excited about that one.
Wednesday does look pretty dope. I love me some Adams Family.
That's just what kills it for me on multiple views. I definitely liked it on my first view. It's a very niche kind of thing. Definitely not something I think about viewing annually. I definitely get that. That director in
Yeah.
particular, a lot of his movies are like that, where it's like, here's my nonsense premise or what have you, and it's like you're either on board or you're not. And like the last one, I don't think it was the last movie he made, but one of the more recent ones he made was this movie called Deerskin, and this guy has a deerskin jacket and he becomes like obsessed with it, and it's like telling him to like, I don't remember if like the jacket was like kind of telling him to kill people and stuff, but he gets like a whole, I think he gets like a whole deerskin ensemble or something, or if, maybe it's just the jacket, I don't know, but it's bizarre as fuck. Like every single one of this dude's movies is just like fucking weird. I know the follow up to Rubber was called Wrong, and like I saw that one, and that was like the gist of it. It was the same thing as the No Reason. Like you'll see things and you're like, why is that? Oh, because it's wrong. Like that's not how it's supposed to be. It's wrong. Like there's your answer, and it does get a little grating sometimes. It's like okay, a little one note. So, but I mean, I haven't seen Rubber in a long time, so I could
I
definitely see
think
where
that's
multiple viewings could
well,
kill
I
it for
think
you.
that's where it goes. Like, I wouldn't watch it back to back or be able to like
No,
show like three different people in a week's time this movie, but when you watch it and then you let enough time go that you're like, oh shit, I done
Mhm.
forgot about that, and then you're like, let's watch it again. It's all right.
Right. Come across somebody who's never seen it before, and you're like, oh, you've never seen Rubber? But here in a few days' time, we're going to change that to Slacks.
Slacks.
Have you seen Slacks? Something like how me and my buddy differ on Sucker Punch, where I can be like, yeah, visually it was stunning and cool, but the lack of a story only for you to fill in the blanks. I hate it. But I paid for you. I differ on Sucker Punch. I really enjoy Sucker Punch. It might be my favorite
I've
Zack
never
Snyder
seen
movie.
it.
Uh, Backtracking on you guys a bit. I love the Blair Witch series. Have either of you played the game? Highly recommended. If not, I just started it last night.
I tried to play the game, but I just couldn't figure it out when I played it back in the day.
Dude, I've attempted to start it a few times, and like starting it up last night, I had the intention of like I'm going to make it farther than the opening screen, like, and I made it like a little bit farther, but it's frustrating as fuck because it's like it doesn't tell you how to do a lot of things. It just kind of leaves you to your own devices there, and it's just like that gets a little old. But after watching the Blair Witch movies and stuff, uh, it really inspired me. I just really wanted to play a spooky game, so I went with Blair Witch. I think I might download Resident Evil though and give that a whirl.
I bit the bullet and I got the Outlast series that
I saw that.
we were looking at the other day. $5, man, $60 value, $5. I was like, yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah. I will say, Gilla, if you're still listening, I loved Little Nightmares that you let me borrow, and I'm very excited to borrow Little Nightmares too because we played the demo over at Shep's house the other day, and it was very enjoyable. It seems like it's even better than the first one.
Yeah, no, that is a game. Like I said, I had just was when that game released, the first one. It was on my birthday, and I remember just really looking for a game that I could play that was like something like me. This is mine to play.
Hmm.
And then this one, here's one a little spooky shit, and I was like, oh, and it's on my birthday. I'll take it. So I've been glad to see that like it did good. A following came a sequel,
Yeah,
all kinds of shit. I've been hyped for that. I have not played the sequel myself though, so
it's a good one. Yeah,
it's a,
I know the one game I'd love to play right now, but just isn't on PS4 is Dead Space. I know they're doing a remake of it. I need that like yesterday. I'm ready to play some Dead Space. Little
Little
Nightmares was
nightmares.
dope. It sure was.
Little nightmares for the win. But
It was a freaky little game.
there was cool little environments. Sometimes you get stuck, you know what I'm saying? Like the puzzles were good.
Mhm. Yeah, they were. Honestly, I played with a walkthrough. I gotta be honest. Bill Lathan, what are you doing? Aren't you at work? Life is
What
strange.
Life is Strange.
She
Never
has
played
been.
it.
She's now on the third game of Life is Strange. She's been blazing through them. And I know Gella's a fan of Life is Strange as well. And I have not played myself, but Bell, it's one of those games kind of like Until Dawn where
Yeah.
you get to we're slow. Well, glad we can entertain. Uh it's kind of like Until Dawn where you make your own choices and it affects how
Yeah.
the game goes and stuff like that. Um so she plays like she'll play a chapter and then she'll replay the chapter in a different save slot to do both, which I think is smart because like how I did it with Until Dawn is like in games like that, I'm like, I'm just gonna play the whole game and then go back and play the whole game. But I never do. I never replay the game. So
I just make the most off the wall choices the whole time. Just
my
fuck things
all-time
up.
favorite horror game will always be Phasmophobia. It was just so addicting being haunted by AI ghosts. Haven't played for so long though. That's what like all of the Twitch people play. Like
Yeah.
the Twitchers love Phasmophobia. I have not personally played it, but I've watched people play it quite a bit.
It seems like a game that I'd be into, but my computer won't let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Jumping back, Life is Strange isn't like a horror game necessarily, but like there's some intense shit in it for sure. So I've
It's
like
a
got to
strange
watch like
game.
a good chunk of it with her playing, especially when she replays it. I get to catch whatever I missed before. But yeah, I'd recommend those for sure. So, but that's true. That's very true. You'd have to keep it in a notebook.
I'm sure
I
they
feel like.
have them. I'm sure they have a book specifically for the games that you could like circle the choices you make when you're going through it. Like
They should. If they're not, they
this
need to.
one.
Outlast is fantastic, hands down.
Outlast
That's too
is
scary.
good. Yeah, if your anxiety can handle that game, because
Yeah,
yes, it does
it
get
doesn't. You
so
can't.
intense so fast, and you're running from people, and they're like, "That's it. You can just run and hide."
Yeah. One of my favorite video games ever is Dying Light, and I still to this day have not beat Dying Light. I've restarted that game so many fucking times, and never, not once, actually seen it through to the end. But I love it. It's such a fun game. I could never do Outlast. Did not. I did not outlast anything. I fucking made it maybe 15 minutes into that game, shut it off, and never looked back.
Oh, there's some nights I had to be like, I just can't do this
I
anymore. But
can't.
I
My nerves are shot. Go outside and smoke some cigarettes.
yeah,
Fucking
for real. I know I beat the first one for sure before. So I got the extension to that, and I got the second one. So I've been playing a little bit of the second one.
yeah.
It's just like the first.
Dying Light is amazing. Dying Light 2, so bad. I haven't even made it around to Dying Light 2. Dead Island is a lot of fun. Dead Island 2 is finally getting released after all these years.
Dead Island was a very good zombie game. Dying Light was a very good one too. I did like that. Because the only thing that I really didn't like in Dying Light was when you there's a part where you can go across like this expansion bridge
Yeah, yeah.
to get a lot of shit, a lot of loot and stuff, and
Mhm.
you have to like cross a beam at the very top. I don't like. I'm afraid of heights, and like that was a little too much for me. Just a big ass screen TV, and you just like, damn. I felt like if my character on the game dropped, I would drop in life, like just
I
drop.
feel you.
But
That would be a very I think Dying Light, they need to do in VR. I think that'd be a game very worthy of some virtual reality.
well, and I believe that one though. Then they had the like the DLC expansion for it, where you were kind
Mhm.
of out in the countryside. And that was really cool.
Yeah.
Very
Hell
much
yeah.
enjoyed that game.
Speaking of like the stuff that's like Dying Light's 2 story is bad, acting so boring. Um, Parkour is perfect though, 10 out of 10. Hey, that's all that matters.
Parkour,
How's that parkour
parkour.
though? Like, speaking of something like Outlast where you got to go smoke some ciggies just to calm your nerves like afterwards, like I feel like for as much horror stuff as I watch, like I might see something that like gives me some jump scares or might spook me a little bit, but like I feel like the movies that genuinely like few and far between like scare the living shit out of me, well they're exactly that, they're few and far between, like it's just very rare. I feel like that like it gets down into your bones. I know like and sometimes it's a movie that like I might see it one time and it affects me differently than I see it another time. Like there's a lot of movies where like I've seen it the first time and I go back to rewatch it. I was like, oh, this wasn't that bad. Like Deliver Us from Evil is one that I went to the theaters and saw that with Phil and his sister and maybe somebody else. And that theater experience was so intense that like as soon as we left the theater, we were fucking smoking cigarettes just to like calm ourselves down. I was just like, my God, like, what an intense experience. But I go back and rewatch that movie and it's like, it's fine. It's not that scary.
It's not that bad.
Ammo ran out in Dying Light 2, I'm assuming. Like
That's
people
dumb.
can't make reuse ammo. I'm like, what a bad excuse. Been patiently waiting for Dead Island 2 since the trailer dropped at E3 in 2014. I feel that. The new trailer looked even better. I was just like, I was sold on the first trailer almost a decade ago, so I'm here for this.
Been waiting probably about as long as
I don't
everybody has for GTA 6.
I don't even need ammo in Dying Light. Like who uses a gun in Dying Light? Like it scares the shit out of me to use the gun in Dying Light because then they all come running. And I usually just stick to I Dying Light. I remember playing once, and I got up like on a dumpster, like not even that high up, and the zombies couldn't reach me from where I was at the dumpster, even though they were like eye level to my knees. And I just took a baseball bat and just kept
Boom.
killing them. And that, like I literally had like like a pile of bodies around this dumpster because they just kept coming. Who needs a gun? Who needs ammo?
I
You
never
know?
used it. Left 4 Dead, I always like to get like the swords or the guitar or something like that. And what was the very first one that came out? Was just talking about it not too long
Which
ago.
one? What are we talking about?
Like the very first zombie, like open world zombie game. They made like 3 or 4 of them on Xbox. I can't think
I
what
know
it
what
was.
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Shit. Um, I know exactly what, because I was thinking about it too. Because like you could create all these crazy weapons, and one was in a mall, one you were a
Yeah.
photographer, one you were like a motocross. Dead Rising, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Dead Rising.
Yeah,
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's the OG. Got to give some love to the OG
definitely.
because that really started. Like I remember when that shit dropped, and I almost wanted to get I was a PlayStation guy, and I almost wanted to get an Xbox just for that game. I was like, yo,
So
open
weird.
world zombies. It's like I need to play this shit. Hold up.
But no, I'm excited. I mean, we're already going so hard in September, and I feel like October we have so much to look forward to as well.
Oh yeah.
I feel like from the jump, like October 1st, we're just gonna be dropping shit on fools. Uh, we'll have a pretty dope lineup of guests, I like to think, for October's.
Yeah.
Where I guess we could probably go ahead and announce that Mondays are going to change up a bit.
Oh yeah.
Um, from month to month, Mondays, now it's just, we had Mental Health Monday. I think we're just going to have to call it
Whatever.
Mondays with Chase and Shep because it's going to change every month. Or I thought to keep with theme, like the Chase and Shep Monday show, so it's always different. Um, but we got monstrous Mondays coming in October. We'll have a fantastic slew of guests for that. October 1st is the first Saturday of the month, so you know what that means. Over at Camp Nostalgic Studios, we're getting a brand new Saturday morning,
That's
so
pretty
that's
dope.
exciting. If you haven't been watching, there's 3 episodes out already, and they're
Get
excellent.
caught up. Get
Get
caught
caught
up.
up before the spooky episode arrives. And if I'm not mistaken, Shep, I think you and I might be in this next episode. So keep your eyes peeled. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong about that, but I think we might be. And then
Like that.
keeping with old Camp Nostalgic Studios, they are producing a short film that I wrote and directed called Routine, and that'll be dropping I in October. I think mid October.
That's what's up.
Um,
Hell yeah.
so that's right on the horizon. Get your spooky on with a little short film, a little team up between myself and Camp Nostalgic Studios. Stars the fantastic Catherine Bokenkamp, who was in Summer Camp of Horrors. She was our Annie. And then we both got music coming out
Oh yeah.
that we've been hard at work on.
Mm-hmm.
The horror movie marathon mixtape. Been working on it for like over a year now. Very close to having it done. So, with any luck, it'll also be here on October 1st. So that's the goal, so that you can jam it
Always the
out
goal.
all October long. But
It's always the goal. Yeah.
if not
No, it
October
is.
1st, somewhere between the 1st and the 31st of October,
It'll drop.
it'll be coming at you.
It'll drop.
And
It'll
then, of
drop.
course, we got we're brewing something up in our little witch's pot here at Chase and Shep.
Our cauldron is on fire in the back here. You can see a little. No, that's my fan. My fan does look
bubbling up.
bright as fuck, but yeah, no, it should be fun. Good October. Yeah, all around, man. I'll be releasing some music as always. We're gonna get spooky.
Hell yeah.
That's as much as there is to that.
And that's that.
And that is fucking that. We're already getting spooky. Like I already got them. I don't know if you remember from our stream last year, but I already picked up some more skeleton gloves.
Perfect.
So I can chop them up, chop the fingers off, and do my thing again this year, man. I'm hyped.
Oh yeah.
You got to get it going, got to get it flowing. I made some Halloween cupcakes last weekend. I ate all of them, most of them.
Love it. You got to get in that holiday spirit. The question is it too early to watch Halloween?
No.
Because I really want to.
I think it really just depends on your vibe and how you want to do your October. Because I know, like, when we've done our past, like, slays, we've always saved Halloween for on Halloween because it makes sense. But if that's what you want to do that. If not,
I would say save Trick or Treat for Halloween. But if we go see Trick or Treat in the theater, that's at the beginning of the month. So I'd kick off October with Trick or Treat. Sometimes with Halloween, now that there's so goddamn many of them, I like to shake it up from year to year. Like, because I might not watch all of them every year, but I will at least watch the ones just called Halloween. if just Halloween is in your title, and even then, like, I'm not crazy about the 2018 one, so I'll skip it. I don't mind. So mostly, like, I just have to decide: do I want to start my month with John Carpenter's Halloween and end it with Rob Zombie's, or vice versa? That's the big decision to be made. So this year, though, I might go ahead and hit the John Carpenter first.
Might.
I'm feeling antsy.
You never know. You can go ahead and put it on now. Get ready for all of them. I've been ready, like I said, all year pretty much. But about July, that's when you start getting the itch. You know, if you're me and in this world, like you said, beautiful day out today, 60 something degrees was the high around here. So we're very, very feeling the fall. Very much feeling fall.
Very much. Very much so. Feeling the fall. The spooky season is upon us, and there's so many different ways to get spooky. Um,
Yeah, do a seance, get a Ouija board, you know, see what you can conjure up.
the Chase half of Chase and Shep does not condone the Ouija board use. Um, Rob Zombie's Monsters. What do
All
we
right,
think?
yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
get
tell you
into
what
it.
I think, Dave. I think I'm gonna watch it.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna watch it at the very least. Rob Zombie is a director that I have. I mean, Rob Zombie is responsible for getting me into the horror genre in the first place because of Halloween. So I've really rocked with him and his movies. There's been some ups, there's been some downs. That is for sure. Like I don't think a lot of people know that Rob Zombie has an animated movie out there called The Haunted World of El Super Bisto,
Right,
and it came out in like 2009 or something. What's up, Priyanka?
Bianca throwing in the
Spooky
spookies.
season. I
Oh,
know. Priyanka and I always watch horror movies over FaceTime together this time of year.
that's
So,
what's up.
you know,
I'm
it's how
interested
we
for.
bond.
I'm interested to watch the Munsters only because, like, you know, when they were like Rob Zombies doing the Munsters, I was like, oh, so the Munsters are going to be like an inbred family from like
Right,
from the sticks and to just doing wacky zany like the show was. Fuck it,
right.
it's like
My
it's good enough.
my thing is like you say Killer Jeans. It's like the same thing as saying Rob Zombie's directing a PG rated movie. I'm like, I'm here. I'm gonna check this out. I want to see what that looks like. What movie will it be this year? Any suggestions? Oh, for the movie that we watched together? I don't know. Should we watch something new or something we've watched before? Yeah, I think 2019 was our big year. We watched a lot of shit in 2019. Priyanka and I did just over FaceTime together. That's when I watched Killer Clowns for the first time. That's when I watched Candyman for the first time. And both of those have become staples for me now. They're favorites of mine now.
Love me some Killer Clowns.
Love it. Love it. Seeing a resurgence itself, but we'll get more into that in October.
It
But
has, yeah. I'm glad to see all those movies have a resurgence. I think they should. There's been news recently on the Friday the 13th reboots and stuff. So
it's
let's,
finally happening.
let's get them going, man.
Did you know they made a video game out of that? Yes, they just announced it like a few weeks ago, I believe. So that was super exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very excited. I know they're doing a video game for Killer Clowns, and Killer Clowns are at the Universal Studios like horror nights this year. So they're having a little moment. The clowns are.
Bringing them back.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Whatever it takes to get that Killer Clowns sequel, we'll do
Yeah.
it.
That
If it needs to be a Chase and Shep movie, that's fine. We'll
Chasing
Chase and
Shep
Shep meet the Killer Clowns.
from outer space.
I I
Okay with
I
that.
want to see that movie. What's it gonna take?
I'd be perfectly fine with that movie. I'd be like, okay.
Okay, all right. So we do. That's what we need to do. We need to be like the Abbott and Costello of our time, where like Abbott and Costello got to meet all the like Universal like monsters and shit. But ours should be like like the 80s like classics, like so it's like Chase and Shep meet the Killer Clowns, Chase and Shep meet the Evil Dead, like like just shit like that. Plop us into these scenarios,
Chasing Shep versus the Gremlins.
versus the Gremlins. Let's fucking go.
Like, yeah, dude, we can let them eat snacks. It's all good.
We're just like leading a horde of gremlins destroying the world.
Oh,
This backfired. This backfired.
it would be fun. It'd be fun to do that.
Who do we need to talk to make this happen? Who do
Shit,
we
I'd
need?
even kick it with the creature from the Black Lagoon if that's where we're going. I'd be like, okay.
Oh yeah. Should just be one where we just get to meet the big three all in one go. Freddie, Michael, and Jason.
What's up, guys? Hey guys, what's up? No,
That's
it
what's
is
up.
good. The Evil Dead game's pretty rad. I've been playing that. I need to hop back on there now. They got a new mission out.
Mhm.
Dropped a new map. We got Evil Dead remake characters in there now.
Yeah. And
So
us being big Evil Dead fans, I know recently they announced that Evil Dead Rise, the new Evil Dead flick, is coming to theaters next year. Jason Shet versus Joe Coy. Winner gets Easter Sunday. I think we won Easter Sunday personally. From what I heard of the reviews of Joe Coy's Easter Sunday, I think we came out on top.
our reviews have always been spectacular and stunning over here. So
Except for that one guy who was like, you use the same grain filter on
oh yeah.
repeat. It's like a 15-second loop. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's called nitpicking, you son of a bitch. No,
I wouldn't even know that. You know what I'm
we
saying?
take
Who knows
criticism
that?
very
Who
well
knows
here
that?
at
Who
Jason
knows?
Shet.
Who even knows that?
It's like you weren't watching what I was watching. I was concerned with Jesus fighting the Easter Bunny, not the one piece of grain I saw continuously.
In the same fucking parameters.
It's like, no, wait just a second. Is that piece of grain on a loop? Sure is. It sure is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going so gung ho on it now that like I'm almost worried I'm gonna run out of shit to watch in October. Even though
Yeah.
that's not true, I gotta say Amazon Prime is a treasure trove of horror movies. Like you can get new shit, old
Old
shit,
shit.
weird shit, indie shit, like $0 shit. Maybe one of these days you'll find our shit.
I
Like
say you might fuck around and find our stuff on there, man.
like you can really just find just about anything you want on
If not, we'll
uh,
at least get on the
with
Roku
Prime.
channel.
That's true. That's true. But Roku, I don't know. Roku might become too big for us after this year because they're getting ready to release that Weird Al Yankovic biopic, and the reviews for it have been excellent. And they're saying that Walk Hard just got dethroned as like the
Yeah.
best biopic, like music biopic satire thing. I'm like, oh, I'm listening. I'm listening. You know what? I absolutely agree, though. Most of the new horror games based on IPs nowadays just scares me into thinking it's just a Dead by Daylight clone. I agree wholeheartedly. That's how Friday the 13th was, and I'm just not that into freeze tag or whatever. I agree. I think Friday the 13th is a boring ass game. It was
Yeah,
not
I
what I
think I
expected
think
it to be.
Evil Dead stepped that like genre up by letting you be Ash with the chainsaw fighting back and killing
Mhm.
people and having more than just one bad guy chasing you,
Right. And that
and the missions. The
and
missions
that's the
help
thing, like
too.
it's exactly what he just said. It's like tag. It's actually like hide and seek is what it is. And that's really fucking boring when you're not Jason Voorhees. You are the one hiding. You're just playing a game of hide. And it's just like, why did I get on my PlayStation to go sit in a cupboard for like 15 minutes? Like, like it seems like a really stupid idea for a game, but whatever. Um, that's why, like, even with the Killer Clowns, it's hard to get excited. Same with Evil Dead. It was hard to get excited because I'm like, God, it's probably just going to be just like that. And of course it ended up being better than that, but Killer Clowns looks like it might be better, but it also looks like it could be the same shit. I'm
It's
just
true.
like, yo,
It's
why are we
true.
doing this?
We'll have to give it a day in court,
Yeah, we will.
as
We
you never
will.
know. You never know.
We will. We will. Well, I guess it's about that time already. Um,
About that time.
I guess we'll go ahead and take a mellow out moment for everybody. For everybody, just enjoy the weather today.
Yeah.
It's only 7 o'clock. Pop in a scary movie right now.
It's a Texas Chainsaw game coming out. I didn't know that.
That will be. I too am curious. I don't think I knew about that one.
I did not. I did not. I'll take Leatherface on. He's a bish.
He is.
So,
He is.
but yes, no, very good mellow out moment. Enjoy the cooling weather. Summer's going away. September will get colder as we go. So enjoy it. If you like the warm weather, enjoy the last little bit you got. If you like the cold weather, not too much longer.
It's on the horizon. It's
It's
pretty much
there.
here.
It's giving you a little kiss on the cheek today, saying I'm on my
So,
way.
so Just a little guy.
Be there soon, baby.
Well, I guess the only thing left to do now is to close the show out with a brand new track from Johnny Cash.
There you go, man. Yeah,
off of his new Halloween album coming up.
Orange and Black. You can find it streaming everywhere now. Just the song, not the whole album.
Little zombie sunglasses for your Monday evening to help you get a little spooky.
A little spooky. Peace out.
You, Barbara. They've been dead a long time. Look, there's one of them now. He wants you.
Summertime in the apocalypse, I'm smoking on some dro. Gazing deep into the morning sun, I think it's time to go. Cause the horde is rushing up our back, the crew is on the move. Seen a zombie shuffle in some shades of motherfucker smooth. Don't go for the headshot, can't let those bad bitches pop. Gotta get the glasses off the dome, then we give them the drop. Get the twine round that throat, throw on them shades, feeling dope. Turn them guts into a moat. I'm the zombie killing goat, and I'm chilling back in zombie sunglasses. Don't I look real rad ass, bro? Chilling back in these zombie sunglasses, smoking on that dro. I know it's silly, biters hit my neck and I'm like, really? I'm slicing through their shit like I did with a Philly. Fuck what you think, a necromancer making fucking bank. Plus they can't be too sneaky when they really fucking stink. It's about that swag. Plus these biters make me wanna gag, so I'm mowing them down while I'm collecting the bag. Act like I'm sad. Undead America's really fucking rad, and I cop these dope ass shades. Ain't no way to be mad while I'm chilling back in zombie sunglasses. Don't I look real rad ass, bro? Chilling back in these zombie sunglasses, smoking on that dro. Chilling back in zombie sunglasses. Don't I look real rad ass, bro? Chilling back in these zombie sunglasses, smoking on that dro. I'll take a headshot, a zombie flip-flop. Kill those motherfuckers who created Kids Bop, and they thought this stopped. Guess what, bitch, nah? Head popping motherfuckers till the beat drop. Chilling back in zombie sunglasses. Don't I look real rad ass, bro? Chilling back in these zombie sunglasses, smoking on that dro. Chilling back in zombie sunglasses. Don't I look real rad ass, bro? Chilling back in these zombie sunglasses, smoking on that dro.